Welcome back. In this series, we are going to start to discuss sheet metal. So sheet metal is anything that is cut out of metal that is flat, that is thin and bendable. So if you think of a metal bookcase, that starts out as a flat sheet of paper. The drafting concept of that is called a development, and those are basically 2D objects that are folded up into a 3D object. So in Inventor, we need to start a sheet metal part, and we're going to see some differences and we're going to see some similarities. So here's our difference. We've got a sheet metal tab with all different sheet metal buttons and controls. Here's 3D model. This is all the same. And then a lot of this is the same afterwards. So in sheet metal, when we make a base solid, that is going to be a face. And we'll cover faces in a subsequent video, but it's not going to be a traditional extrusion. Now, in this environment of sheet metal, we need to address our sheet metal defaults. So here, if we edit the rule, we get a lot of different settings. And the number one that you're going to want to change, and again, this is going to depend on if you're doing sheet metal for a shop, what your machinery is, what your sheet metal department procedures and policies are. But basically, the number one thing that we want to change in here is the thickness. So this needs to be tied to some gauge of sheet metal. And so this will set that variable. Then when we make a face, we will see that there is no depth. It is set to the default sheet metal thickness. You can't have multiple thicknesses of sheet metal in one part because it's cut out of one piece of sheet metal. If you have two parts, that's okay, that are different thicknesses, then you need to start working in an assembly environment. So that's going to do it for sheet metal defaults. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video.